In Oklahoma City.
Hi there.
Hi. We wanted to talk to you today about the Laurastar Smart U ironing system.
Yeah.
It is amazing. I mean, I've ironed my whole life when, you have to iron to make clothes look nice. And when you're sewing, ironing is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really quilt well or make a garment well if you don't have an iron that can do that job for you, or your seams just don't come out right. So we're going to show you all about the Laurastar Smart U ironing system.
Nice.
It is pretty sweet. This iron has something that is unlike a lot of other irons. Most irons have a really wet, heavy steam that leaves your fabric damp, or can leave water spots on it, and then you have to try and iron it until it dries it out. This particular brand with the Laurastar has what we call a fine micro steam, and it's almost like a gas. So what's nice about it is this is the ironing board, and as you can see down below here, there's a boiler that's part of this ironing board.
Nice.
So the water is down here, and it is heating up to a really great hot temperature.
Okay.
And then it comes through the cord, and then of course it heats again when it's in the iron here. But you don't have the water on board this part.
So now you don't have to hold up the water either.
You don't. And so this iron only weighs 2.2 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can also see that the iron handle is like right in the center of it, so you don't have to put a lot of pressure and really push down to iron. And that makes it really nice. Let me show you what's great about this steam.
Oh, wow.
It's a fine micro steam. That's not burning my hand.
That's awesome.
If it was burning, I'd be screaming. And it's almost like it's just air, but it gets those wrinkles out, and it's pretty incredible. The tank that you saw down there on the boiler is a 40-ounce tank, so it holds a lot of water.
Nice.
Far more than you could ever put into an iron at the top of it.
Oh, yeah.
As I said, it's only 2.2 pounds, so you don't feel like you're having to really iron and push hard down and heavy with it. The other thing that's nifty about this one is if you pull the cover back, I don't know if you can see this right here, but there is a fan inside here.
Oh, wow.
And inside this fan, it can either be a vacuum that pulls the air down, or it can blow air up, so that you're getting the help of the air flowing through the ironing board in addition to what you're doing with the ironing. And let me show you why that's important.
Okay.
So I have right here a very wrinkled up shirt.
Okay.
And you get them out of the dryer and they look like this, and you don't want to have to sit there and do a whole lot of hard work with it. What's nice about this is on your iron, you have a steam button on the right and on the left. So it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, it makes it really easy to use to touch the button. And then the button that you have right here on the front of it, if you can look in right here, if I push this button, do you see how it's blowing the air up?
Oh, yeah.
And then if I push it again, it sucks it back down.
Oh, wow.
So that's so I know which way the air is flowing on it. Whenever I'm trying to do something that's a really lightweight fabric like this one is, I need it to kind of help loft that, so I'm not pushing the wrinkles into it. Sometimes you push down and you're just like creating a crease that you didn't need there. So when I make it so it kind of floats up on top, you see that?
Oh, wow.
And so when I steam, I'm not having to really press it as much as I'm steaming it.
Well, that's nice.
You can see that it gets beautiful steaming done. Sleeves. How many times have you done a sleeve and you have to get it all folded out here, and then you always end up with the crease down the arm, right?
Yep.
Well, that's not the prettiest look. So look what you can do with this. I'm just going to hold my sleeve out here, and I'm able to just
my
steam
goodness.
right down the sleeve, so all those wrinkles just disappear right out of it.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
I love that.
It's wonderful. Another thing that's nice about it is sometimes it can be really difficult to to iron around buttons, because you sit there and you have to go around each little button and try to get that. One thing that's nice is if you take this and you lay it face down right here with the buttons facing down, and then I make it so that, oops, hang on, it's falling off my ironing board.
It's running away.
I need it so it's sucking the air down, so I touched my button. And now, whenever I steam over this, it kind of pulls it through, so I'm not getting the dents from the buttons. I'm just getting it to where it really steams that part of that button placket.
Nice.
Isn't that wonderful?
I like that.
Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like to iron clothes.
Oh, I don't either.
So even though you can do a great job with it, that's not what I like to do. I like to quilt. One thing that's really nice about when you're doing quilting is sometimes you have multiple layers. So right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 layers. And as you can see, they're all wrinkled. And it can take a lot of time if you're having to do, you know, 1 layer at a time and unfold all your big fabric and everything. But I can lay all of these down. And can you see how wrinkled that is?
Yeah.
Okay. And I am going to have it so it's pulling the air down through there.
Okay.
1. Oops, there's a fuzzy on it. 2. Look, all my wrinkles are gone.
All the way through.
And I didn't put any effort into that at all.
Nice.
And when you're doing your ironing for your quilt piecing, you want to make sure you get really good pressed seams, and really wet steam can stretch your fabric. And that's never good, because then you end up with maybe
wonky seams.
Then they don't always match up. So I have just 2 squares that I've stitched together with a 1/4 inch seam, and it's so easy. I'll just show you again. Is that wonderful? Not going to burn you great steam. And it's a perfect seam every time.
Nice.
And look how perfect that is. And it took me no effort to do that. No pushing and everything. If you're doing applique, a lot of times when you do an applique and you have something that's a fusible bond on it, you know, you have to really hold it and count, and it's like, okay, 10 seconds, and you have to adjust the heat. One thing about a Laurastar that's really wonderful is it's always going to be at the perfect heat.
Okay.
You don't have like a wool setting and cotton. It's just the heat that it is, and it turns out perfect. I don't know how they do it, but it works. And then they also have a sole plate here, so that if you knew that it was a really delicate fabric, you would just snap this into the sole plate here, and it automatically reduces it by 100 degrees when you're using it this way.
Okay.
So that's a really handy way to be able to do that. This is just when I put some fusible, like applique stuff on it. Hard part's getting the piece of paper off.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna come off. There we go.
We're determined.
And you know, it's got that little bit of tacky to it. So it's sticky on one side, but of course it's fusible. A lot of times you have to really push and apply extra heat and hope that it's going to go through there, and then sometimes it'll say you don't need too much heat, you got to have medium heat, and then you scorch it. With a Laurastar, you're not going to have that issue. I'm just going to stick it down in place, and of course the Laurastar, I don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. I'm just going to come over here, give it its little steam, and look, it is on there. It's on there.
Nice.
I'm not having to do anything else. It's perfect.
I know a lot of times you fuse stuff on like that, and then you pick it up, and if you don't wait for it to cool down or whatever, then it just falls right off.
Like, or you can overheat it, and then it kind of makes it so that that glue lost its ability. Another thing that's really good, I was going to show you here, if you're ever doing binding, let me go ahead and press this one real quick. You know, you have to fold up your edge here. And when you fold it up, I'm going to do it the opposite way so that you can see it on the white on the black here.
Okay.
When you go forward, it's going to steam and heat, and it's going to be a perfect press on that, right?
Okay.
If I had not used any steam with it at all, let me do it this way. It wants to flip back up.
Got it.
And a lot of people are afraid to use steam, but see how it keeps wanting to flip up? You can see the difference in those two.
Oh yeah.
People don't want to use steam when they're using binding because it's a bias cut, and it's going to make that kind of stretch. So with this really great dry steam that you have here, it's also hygienic steam. So if you're wanting to like clean an item, maybe a soft toy that you had a little one that was sick, and you can steam it with that. So there's all these wonderful ways that you can utilize the qualities of this iron beyond just being able to iron.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really nice about this one is it has a little silicone pad that's over here on the side, so you're not taking up the real estate of the ironing board. when you're wanting to put it away, this can fold out of the way. If you can see down here, there's a little storage area right here.
Oh, nice.
And so I can just tuck it away right in there. It's on there. This machine system for the iron has a 10-minute shut-off.
Okay.
But if I want to override that, I can by just pushing on the start-stop button here and holding it down for 10 seconds, and it will keep it on until I decide I need to turn it off.
Okay.
And I find that really useful. But you also have the ability for it to pulse, for it to have a sense of steam. And this one, if you can see down here, there's wheels on the ironing board. So when this one folds up, it has wheels to make it easy to roll. Now I still have the iron on, so yes, it is still hot, but there's little levers right here, and I've got it pulled up. But if I take hold with my hand right here to stand this board up, do you see how it folds out of the way?
Oh my goodness.
And then I can just roll it wherever I need it to go. So it's a really great system to be able to easily move from maybe the laundry area to the sewing room to maybe I'm in the bedroom and I need to work on it. But the Laurastar is a wonderful system, and we're just kind of getting started with it. Next week we want to tell you all about the Laurastar Lift program. And if you're interested in learning more about this and you're ready to step up from a rickety old ironing board and an iron that you get that you have to replace it all the time, maybe it's time to step up to Laurastar. Come try it out at the store. I think you'll be amazingly pleased with what you get with Laurastar. They are top of the line in ironing, and I really believe that it's a wonderful tool to add to all the wonderful machines that you already have.
Absolutely.
So you can go by any one of our stores. We have stores in Humble, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Muskogee, Fayetteville, and Springfield. Come see us so that we can show you all the wonderful things there is to know about the Laurastar ironing system.
See you then.
All right, bye-bye.